Welcome back, everybody. I'm PC Outcast, and we are going to continue to try to find love before dying horribly, which is probably what's going to happen. The next day, I woke up to the sound of an explosion outside. I ran outside as fast as I could. What the? First thing I saw was Scarlet, and black smoke emanating from the ground near her. Oh, hey there, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Nice weather we're having, huh? Hey, Scarlet, are you okay? Oh, I'm pretty good, all things considered. I've been experimenting again on trying to bring back people's memories without the whole monkey zombie bit. I figure if you and I ever, well, you know, I'd want us to know everything about each other. No secrets. I'd like that, Scarlet, thanks. I'll let you know if I make any progress with that. Ugh, I gotta clean this up. Was that someone that was exploded? Give me a minute and then we can head to the forest. I've been meaning to spend some time there since I got to this island. Sounds good to me. Goodbye me, too. Bye and too and things. We walked together through the forest, hand in hand. Talking about things we'd do after we got off this island, talking about everything and anything. After we're off this island, whatever happens, do you maybe want to catch a movie together? Sure, but why a movie? You can laugh, but there's a part of me that just wants to be a regular girl for a day. That's something I could never forget. And I'd like it if I could be if I could be that way with you. What do you say? I'd like that. Yay! Scarlet did a little dance of happiness. We spent the rest of the morning together in the woods, enjoying each other's company, and maybe a little more than that. Somehow, in the middle of it all, I forgot what kind of show I was on. I was about to read that as snow. What kind of show I was on in the first place. It was just me and her. In this moment, more than ever, I was glad to be alive. Good morning, Vladimir Vladimirovich. Time sure flies, huh? The show's almost over, and you'll be able to go back to your regular life soon. No idea if that's gonna have any less headaches, though. Who knows? As strange as it sounds, I've had some fun here. The whole getting murdered thing isn't great, but it hasn't been all bad. I did mention that other people would kill to be in your possession. On second thought, they definitely haven't thought it through enough. Probably not. Well, back to business. It's time to pick who you'll go on your first third date with. Who's the unlucky soulmate candidate today? Honestly, things seem to be going better with Scarlet, which probably means we're gonna die horribly if we pick her. Yeah, let's stick with Terra. Terra. If I had known you were going to spend all your days with Terra indoors, I would have just booked the mansion. But sometimes the best things in life aren't the most expensive ones. Who knew? Just kidding. You ever seen a depressed person who owns an island? Go get her, tiger. I found Terra sleeping on the couch in the games room. She looked so peaceful. Maybe I'll come back later. Zombies everywhere! Ah! She bolted up suddenly. You okay? Whoa, you okay, Terra? Whew, it was just a dream. I'm good now. No worries. Seems like it was a pretty crazy dream. No kidding. I dreamed that we all got turned into zombies. Luckily, there's no way that could ever happen. Did you go to bed late? Hell yeah, I spent all night working on the game. And I finished it too. Wow. Here to join me in testing it out? I added some new features I'd like you to try. Sure, I'd love to. It looked like the same game I'd played before. What am I looking for? You'll see. I started up the game. Moments later, I saw Terra's avatar run up to me. You've made it just in time. The new event is about to start. What's the new event? As if on cue, gigantic robot I want to say penguins again. Pigeons flew from the sky and started to attack our avatars. Ah! Fight them. I ran towards the pigeons, preparing for the fight of a lifetime. Don't worry, I gotcha. Terra pulled out a giant can of pigeon repellent and started blasting away. Whoa, I think something's bugged. It's not working at all. Guess I gotta fix that. While Terra was laughing at her own mistake, I was being lifted into the sky by the pigeons. I think I'm screwed. Where are these pigeons taking me? I tried to move my avatar, but there was no way to resist the death grip of the robo-pigeon. I really wish it was penguins, because then I wouldn't be tripping over it every single time. Don't worry, they're about to fly into the territory of the maple syrup dragon. The what? Uh-oh. The screen lit up with a blast of flying maple syrup. I never thought I'd ever say something like that, but here we are. The maple syrup slammed into the pigeons and forcefully stuck their wings together. As a consequence, they started to fall to the ground at breakneck speed, with me in their grasp. Ah! Save me! I haven't saved yet. I knew I forgot something. I forgot to add the ability to save. I'll have to write that down. The ultimate roguelike. Isn't that literally what happens in Rogue? Like, you can't save, I think. As Terra took notes, I rapidly fell to my doom. I'm happy for you, but if you could just for a minute. My avatar smacked into the ground, pigeon first, and instantly died on impact. Oh man, I had so much stuff. Is there at least a respawn mechanic? I've never died before in this game. Of course. Just hit the retry button. I pressed the button and watched the world around me reset to the village, sans the giant beasts of death. Except now the village seemed 10 times bigger than before. Wait, when did the village get so big? And then it dawned on me. Wait, it's not the village that got big. I got small. I took a more careful look at my avatar. I was a pigeon again. I sighed deeply. At the same time, Terra was giggling like a child. We spent a few more hours testing out the rest of the game's new features. Thankfully, there were no more pigeon Easter eggs. There's one last thing I want to test out, if that's okay. Will it end with me getting turned into a pigeon? No! Just come with me. I followed her avatar to the cabin we shared in the woods. When we got there, she turned around, walked up to me, and held out an item I'd never seen before. Oh. She walked up to me and gave me an item called Ring of Your Pretty Cool. What's this? Let me try to explain. I came onto this show with no idea of what it was about. Personally, I thought it was stupid at first. But hanging out with you has been so much fun. I've never really got to work on my hobbies with anybody till I met you. Honestly, I've never had someone to share all my crazy shit with, but you're different. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're pretty cool, and I hope we can keep doing this, even after the show's over. Ah, I would love to. Terra. You don't even have to ask. I've got to say, you caught me off guard with this. Why's that? You giving me this ring to me, or you giving this ring to me, well, it could be a little misleading. You're not making any sense. We laughed together, then walked back to the mansion with a spring in our step. We played the day away without a care in the world. Well, that's enough gaming for today. Yep, for a movie date? Sure. What do you want to watch? It's a Hitchcock film. I've always wanted to see it. What's it called? The Birds. Oh, of course it is. I felt a blood vessel in my head pop. This woman is bad for my heart. But she never fails to put a smile on my face. Good times. After today's date with Terra, I decided to take a stroll around the mansion. The night was clear as could be. A light breeze made it just a bit chilly, but not enough that I'd need to put on more. I find myself fixating on the moon without thinking. I thought I'd find you here. Why is that? Just a good feeling. And the island-wide surveillance system. Yeah, I'm totally not stalking you. You doing okay? Yeah, I'm just thinking. I can't believe the show's almost over. It didn't feel real earlier today. Time sure flies, doesn't it? You've only got the last third date with Scarlet tomorrow, then the final ceremony on the day after. Speaking of which, how was your date with Terra today? Awesome. It was nice. You didn't we didn't do anything too crazy, but it didn't have to be. I could tell. It was cute watching you guys. Though to be honest, I wish your relationship would move along a little faster. The show's not getting any longer, you know. That said, I feel like you two would make a pretty good team in the long run. Who knew that 3 dates were all you needed to figure out if a marriage would last? If this TV gig doesn't work out, maybe I should become a marriage counselor. Anyway, I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got to get some work done tonight to prep for the ending of the show. You know what? I could use some company. It's not like you were up to anything. Kat reached her hand out to me, I put my hand in hers on instinct. With her hand in mine, she pulled me with her to a library? Now you're probably wondering, why did I bring you here of all places? You like to read? Well, yes, but no. There's no internet for us goons, so here's where we store most of our information. Records of every single run of the show, building and security details, guard schedules, and most importantly, salary records. It's hidden in plain sight, as regular books. You need to know how to decipher them, though. They're pretty useless to the average person. Interesting. And also a little unnecessary. Who here is going to read a book? Oh, I knew the state of education was bad, but not this bad. It still doesn't answer why you brought me here. Well, you see, I have this lovely chair and table here, I have this lovely table here that I do so love to work on. And it's truly, truly exhausting for me to get up from this lovely arrangement to have to fetch each book I need to reference. So... you want me to grab your books for you so you can just stay here? I'm so glad you understand. And, you know, I'm doing everything I can to keep you alive, and it's just a teeny tiny favor. I couldn't help but laugh at her mock pout. Sure, Kat, it's the least I can do. Great! Alright, to start, I need you to grab the Princess of Avaranda. 100 easy recipes for a Philosopher's Stone, and... other things. I regret everything. Ugh. This must be the 100th batch of books I've had to deliver. It's been hours. Seriously, whoever designed the system should be shot. I tried to read a few of the books I was delivering, but like Kat said, they just seemed like regular books. And that's a wrap. Thanks for the help, Vladimir Vladimirovich. I'll send you a thank you card for when you're off this island, or something. At that rate, that was pretty much slave labor. I like to think of it as more of unpaid charity work. You've got one last date tomorrow. Don't mess it up. I'm curious, what's the first thing you're going to do when you're out of here? Honestly, I'm not sure. Maybe try to figure out what my life was before. Who knows? That's as good a start as any. Well, I gotta get back to editing. Night, Vladimir. See you, Kat. Guess I'll head back to my room and call it a night. And have some more nightmares. The alarms were deafening. We planned for every possibility we could, but it wasn't enough. We made it to the ship, but it still wasn't enough. Our one saving grace, the ship, wouldn't start. Someone tampered with it, and there's no time to fix it. That's it then. I couldn't find the words to say. I love you. I love you too, Vladimir Vladimirovich. I wish we could have met anywhere but here. She held me in her arms with the last of her strength. All that's left to do is wait. Goodbye, love. I woke up on the floor of the games room. You did. Terra was sleeping on the sofa with one hand still on her game console. We'd spent all night playing games and watching movies like it was our own little sleepover. But what happened with me spending hours working with Kat and then going to bed? Pigeon zombies everywhere! Ah! And then she was up. Let's hope this insane show never gets to the point where Terra's dreams make sense. Oh man, my head's pounding, but I've got no regrets. Me neither. We've got to do this again sometime soon, Vladimir. You bet. Is it time for you to go on a date with somebody else now? Yeah, that's just how it is. Alright, have fun. Save some time for gaming with me later, okay? Sounds like a plan. Awesome. Oh boy. Well, looky who crawled out of an economy class airplane toilet. And good morning to you too, Damien. Vladimir Vladimirovich, don't mind him. Him. Damien was just telling me the news. Your ratings are doing really well so far. At this rate, I really think you'll make it out of here. That's great news. I wouldn't celebrate just yet, sir. Just because you've done well till now doesn't mean you won't jump the shark today. Your ratings today need to be higher than they've ever been, or you'll get axed. Axed, literally. If I'm around when your number's up, I guess we'll find that out together, won't we? Later. Oh God. It's, considering my accent, he would be the Texas Chainsaw Massacrer. Sorry about him. He can be a little mean at sometimes, and I don't know why I got a slight southern twang. A murder threat is a little mean. Anyway, you ready for your last date with Scarlet? It's just the last date. Then tomorrow, it'll be the final ceremony. I'm as ready as I'll ever be. Fantastic. Then we'll start filming right away. Good luck, Vladimir Vladimirovich. You'll need it. Thanks, Kat. I owe you one. It's time for my last date with Scarlet. I found Scarlet in the same place I met her. She was engrossed in a book with a pile of books next to her. And multiple copies of magazines. I still would like to know what that magazine was. Like, there was a magazine, then a book behind it, but then she had another magazine back behind that. And considering what Kat said about the books here, I wonder if she was trying to get information somehow. Anyway, they looked worn, as if they'd been read over and over through the years. Hey there, Scarlet, what you reading? Hi, Vladimir Vladimirovich, just an old fairy tale. Really? I'm surprised you read something that would throw science out the window. I am a woman of varied tastes. I quite like these stories, especially this one. Which one are you reading? It's called The Princess of Avoranda. Really, it's silly. I doubt you'd be interested in. Try me. I smiled at her. She smiled back at me in kind. Okay, I don't see why not. A new CG. There's a young girl, Terra, who was the princess of the kingdom of Avoranda, which was far, far away from civilization. Unlike other princesses before her, she had no time for politicking or parties. She spent all of her time building all sorts of gadgets for her family and her friends. Like a robot dog that would eat the vegetables they didn't want to eat. Oh, I gotta try my hand at this sometime. Scarlet giggled like a child. Terra has a blissfully happy childhood. She even falls in love with a commoner named Aloria. Though her kingdom would never approve of their relationship, Terra and Aloria never fail to see each other in secret, every night by the crooked trees in the western forests. But those days don't last. One day her mother, the queen, is taken by a witch, never to be seen again, and Terra is forced to become queen at the age of 16. In her mother's absence, Terra does her best to lead the kingdom, and for years it prospers. She's like no other leader they've ever had before. But secretly she wants to leave. As queen, she has no more time for the things or people that she loved with all her heart. She cries every night alone. But she knows she can't. Too much responsibility falls on her. Then one day, Terra is cursed by the same witch that took her mother and forgets everything. Her name, her family, her kingdom. Everything except for Aloria and the desire to leave. And so she leaves, and no one in the village ever sees her again. I won't bore you with the rest of the story, but thanks for listening till now. Oh my god, is that not the exact story that we're in? Oh, come on, believe me, Scarlet, I want to hear this to the end. Especially because you like it so much. I looked deep and soulfully into her eyes, and I could tell just how much she loved this story. Well, there's really not much left, but... Well, Terra and Aloria live a wonderful life in a neighboring kingdom for many years. But one day she remembers everything and rushes home, worrying for her people. When she gets there, she sees her people have been ruled by the very same witch who took her memory, and that her people no longer prosper the way they did under her rule. In anger, Terra confronts the witch on the border of Avoranda. The witch takes off her cowl, revealing herself to be Terra's mother, the Lost Queen. Terra's mother gives her an ultimatum. She can return to ruling the kingdom, but she can never leave again, or she can leave now and never come back. And that's where the story ends. You never get to know what choice Terra makes. Oh, that's quite the cliffhanger. I want to know what happens next. Believe me, me too. I'm curious, what would you do in Terra's shoes? Leave, I guess. I mean, that's what we're trying to do, right? Although we don't know why, or if there's anything better out there. I think I'd leave and never come back. Interesting. Why is that? There's no point in living without love. Even if there is better for the kingdom, even if it was better for the kingdom, for Terra to stay, it would guarantee her love could never be realized. And that's just too sad. I think the same way. I've loved this story ever since I lost my memories. Oh, I'm sure I don't have a kingdom or anything, but sometimes you wonder, you know? Yeah, I get the same feeling too. That's just life, you know? You just have to keep moving forward. Forward. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. I'm really happy that you're the one I get to move forward with, Vladimir. Me too, Scarlet. There's no one else I'd rather be with right here, right now. And speaking of right now, there's somewhere I want to bring you. Where's that? I'll give you a hint. I've been thinking about this place ever since you mentioned that you love fairy tales. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, there's turtles down here. Turtles! She was practically dancing around the room, taking in all the sights. It was impossible not to smile. I figured the Ocean Palace might be your thing. Scarlet practically jumped onto me and squeezed the life out of me in a deathly bear hug. This is wonderful, Vladimir. Thank you so much. You've made everything so special in ways I honestly couldn't believe, but you did it. And that is just the beginning, Scarlet. We're in this together. I held Scarlet and kissed her on the lips. It was like an explosion of passion had set me on fire as she kissed me back and wrapped her arms around me. Always. We looked deep into each other's eyes, and then Terra walked in. In a split second, the room became pitch black. I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face, much less Scarlet. Vladimir Vladimirovich? Looks like there's a blackout. Scarlet held my hand tight. Maybe she was afraid of the dark? I didn't have a chance to respond before I heard a rush of footsteps coming toward us in the dark. Something isn't right. Oh no. We were surrounded. Familiar voice cut through the short silence of me holding my breath. I'm sorry, Vladimir Vladimirovich. You just didn't make the cut. Oh. I assume this is, I'm sorry, Vladimir Vladimirovich. You just didn't make the cut. We've got to get out of here. Just make it quick, please. I don't know who's saying this. I could hear the woman that voice belonged to walk away. I dashed from the table, pulling Scarlet along with me. What's going on? Who are... You just come with me. We've got to get out of here. I didn't even make it 5 steps before I was tackled and cuffed behind my back. Vladimir! I screamed for her to run, but they made sure no sound could escape as they pinned me to the ground. Scarlet, you've got to run! Get out of here! It was no use. Even though she was just a few feet away, I was powerless to get an inch closer. They tackled her down in a second. I heard the clink of the cuffs as they dragged her away. I struggled with everything I had to get up, to save her, to run, for what felt like an eternity. Then, nothing. Okay. I woke up on an operating table, the kind you'd see in a nightmare. Blood splattered on the floor and the walls, the smell of disinfectant and rotting flesh. There was a nearby table littered with metal instruments that could make anybody talk. My first instinct was to get up and get off it as fast as possible, but my neck, hands, and legs were cuffed and pinned down in thick metal braces. I tried to force myself out with all my strength, but the braces didn't so much as budge. Hello? What's going on? Where am I? Scarlet, you there? All I heard back were echoes of my own screams. Wherever I was, this place must be massive. Hey, Vladimir Vladimirovich. That was holding some kind of helmet with thick wires extruding from the back of it. Don't worry, Scarlet's doing fine. She's just taking a nap. Cat, what's going on? You've got to help me. I was just on my date with Scarlet when everything went dark and these guys fucking kidnapped us and... I know, Vladimir Vladimirovich, I know. She sighed. You did good, but not good enough. That's pretty much it. Would it make you feel better to hear that you're the best one yet? I don't care, get me out of here. At this point, there's no point explaining. Placed the helmet on my head carefully. Even if I wanted to stop her from doing so, the brace around my neck made it impossible to maneuver. Please, Cat, don't do this. I could hear the hum of a massive generator turning on behind me. She raised her head, revealing a trigger switch with a single red button. I just want to get out of here. I want to get back to my life, wherever it is, please. Not today, Vladimir. He pressed it. Sound of crashing waves, a world without time or color. I'm back. This time, it's as if I'm sitting in an audience watching myself from afar. The escape had failed. I'd been separated from her and captured. We really never had a chance, did we? I find myself praying that she's safe if anything happened to her. For a moment, the world exploded with color. Always the hero, aren't you, Vladimir Vladimirovich? What did you do to her? You should be more worried about yourself. You knew the rules. If you try to escape the island, you die. What? It didn't have to be like this, but you... I'm done talking. Goodbye, Vladimir. Oh, well, will you look at that? Looks like our little hero's got some life left in them. You know, Vladimir Vladimirovich, you're in luck. And I'm kind of messing up his accent. Usually, I'm going, oh, blah, blah. Usually, I just kill you for this, but a new opportunity's just opened up, and I think you'd be the perfect fit. Hey, just don't just lie there. Just 5 more minutes. You're the star of the show. You can't just sleep through it. Watch me. Oh, that's how you want to play. It's on. Ow! Rise and shine, sleepyhead. Ow, 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 did you just hit me? What? Me? Never in a million years. Anyway, what's your name again? My name's... I can't remember my name. Really now? You've got to be joking. I'm dead serious. I can't remember a thing. Who knows? It might be for the better. Luckily, we've got your name on file. Vladimir Vladimirovich. My name's Kat. It's nice to meet you. You're the star of our new show, Find Love or Die Trying. Let me get you up to speed. It's a loop. Alright guys, that is the end of this episode. Nice twist. We'll see what happens, I guess, with the next run. Thanks very much, guys. We will see you in the next episode.